Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Canal Algérie's nightly news. To the headlines. The President of the Republic, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, chairs a restricted meeting of the High Security Council, which revolved around the general situation in the country, not the borders. Algeria overcomes another challenge. This time it is the production of cooking oil. The President of the Republic congratulates the civil complex in Bijaya province in a message addressed to the President of the Economic Renewal Council, wishing for this achievement to become a model for other productive economic enterprises. The intense diplomatic activity continues in New York to rally support for Algeria's candidacy for membership in the United Nations Security Council. On the International Children's Day, UNICEF praises Algeria's efforts in protecting children's rights and providing a safe environment for them. And we also cover the different celebrations and festivities on the occasion. Welcome again. First off, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, presided on Thursday over a restricted meeting of the High Security Council. The meeting was dedicated to study the general situation of the country and at the level of the borders. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, sent a message to the President of the Economic Renewal Council, Kamal Moula, in which he extended congratulations to the workers of the Sovital complex following the realization of the oilseed processing complex. The message reads, "Following the inauguration of the oilseed processing complex the day before yesterday in the province of Bijaya, and the beginning of production, I invite you to convey our great gratitude and appreciation to the director of the Sovital complex, Malik Rabarab, and to all the workers for their valuable efforts made to implement the commitment to complete this plant in a record time, therefore achieving what represents one of the current challenges for the national industry. As much as I wish this industrial achievement to be a model for successful productive economic enterprises, which can become a tributary to the national economy through the great services it provides to the national industry, I take this opportunity to reaffirm the state's full support and accompaniment to all industrial investment projects to create wealth and jobs aimed at reducing imports, developing exports, and contributing to achieving self-sufficiency and developing the national economy," concluded the President of the Republic. The introduction of the seed processing complex into service is a major step towards achieving food security and an embodiment of the commitment of the President of the Republic, in light of a forward-looking view that values natural resources, guarantees the product from the field to the consumer. Rania Al-Bahri.
جيت إن شاء الله نوصلوا له في أفريل، أقصاها أفريل ماي، تكون عندنا صناعة نتاع الزيت طويلة، يعني بفضل الإرادة نتاع الرجال من الحقل حتى المستهلك.
From the field to the consumer, a distance that was reduced by farsightedness and record completion period that earned the bet of development and the right decisions. Our country is taking the initiative of local industries. Jawhara is a 100% Algerian product that shines in the national market after the oilseed processing complex entered into service with a production capacity of 22,000 tons per day of oilseeds to produce approximately 7,000 tons of vegetable oils. It can grain 3 types of seeds, 11,000 tons of soybeans used in the production of table oil. We have a large storage capacity, which reaches 120,000 tons, and we produce crude oil that is refined and packaged at the compound level. The complex relies on modern equipment and technologies that allow the production of high-quality oil and the provision of direct and indirect job positions. This plant contains about 4,000 workers. The seed processing plant will know the operation of indirect labor After refining the raw material, we make analysis according to international standards. The oilseed crushing complex is an industrial and agricultural force, as it contributes to support the agricultural sector through the exploitation of locally grown oilseeds and production. Partnership contracts were signed with some local agricultural producers to buy their crops. With the entry into service of the oilseed processing plant, Algeria will have achieved another gain, which is a model for national economic institutions that depend on everything local in their production chain.
The President of the Republic has appointed the President of the Council of the Nation, Salih Goudil, to represent him at the inauguration ceremony of the President of the Republic of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, following his re-election for a new term. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, held talks in New York with Amory Brown, the Foreign Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the country that will chair the UN General Assembly in its next session, starting the upcoming month of September. Both parties reviewed means and prospects to mobilize the support for Algeria's candidacy to obtain the membership at the UN Security Council. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, met with members of the permanent mission of Algeria to the UN, led by the Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Algeria to the UN, Ammar Ben Jamad. During this meeting, Ahmed Attaf invited members of the mission to continue and intensify the efforts for the upcoming appointment of the 6th of June. On the sidelines of the visit, Attaf took part in the memorial ceremony for the late Mujahid or war veteran Haj Goudih Al-Hawari, who was a part of Algeria's delegation to the UN, where the foreign minister presented his sincere condolences to the family of the late. On June 1st, we celebrate International Children's Day, an annual event that encourages us to continue consolidating the achievements made in the protection and promotion of children's rights to ensure an adequate and gracious childhood for them. Malika Bilal, Sabrinta Friginit.
Remarkable progress has been made in Algeria in child protection and the promotion of children's rights. Many achievements have been made in various fields for their benefit. Indeed, Algerian state's commitments to guarantee children's right to health, education and protection against violence was reaffirmed in December when the first national conference on the state of childhood in Algeria was maintained.
Tous les développements qui ont été faits convergent.
All the latest developments are focusing towards the future of the nation. Efforts and changes were made for the improvement of national legislation so that it will be in conformity with international norms, notably the International Convention of Children's Rights that Algeria adjusted in 1992. The introduction of the 1512 law of the 15th of July 2015 was the embodiment of children's rights promotion. Significant progress has been made since independence with a view to consolidate and promote children's rights over time. These rights have become the priority of the state to allow this category, which represents 2/3 of the population, to enjoy their right to a gracious life.
Nous avons aussi un projet que nous comptons aussi développer avec l'ONPPE.
We have this project of ours that we are willing to develop with the National Body of Protecting and Promoting Childhood, alongside the support of UNICEF Algeria, which is the creation of Kids Satellite Account, a budgeted one considered as a major turning point for Algeria. It should also be mentioned that CNES is able to alert on some specific important issues, such as violence, addiction, and school dropout. The legal framework set up by Algeria in recent years and the creation of the National Body of the Protection and Promotion of Children reflects the state's efforts towards this category.
On the same occasion, children with special needs were welcomed in the High Command of the Republican Guard, where open doors were organized at the level of the 11th Cavalry and Escort Regiment for the benefit of children from different provinces of the country. For their part, the Naval Forces Command organized on Thursday morning a visit for the benefit of children to the Admiralty, the headquarters of the naval base of Algeria, in the first military region, where naval tours were organized on board of the high-seas tugboat El Munjid, with a number on board of 701 at the level of the Gulf of Algiers. All possibilities were deployed for the success of this event, aimed at bringing joy and pleasure to the hearts of our children on their International Day. The first group of Algerian pilgrims left Algiers International Airport, Houari Boumediene, to perform the rites of the Hajj. This year, Algeria managed to increase its Hajj quota from 36,000 pilgrims to 41,600 pilgrims, a number achieved for the first time. The efforts made by the authorities have greatly facilitated the process, according to Sabrina Ferganit in this upcoming story.
The first group of 250 pilgrims left Algiers Houari Boumediene International Airport to perform the rite of Hajj 2023. On their departure, they were greeted by members of the Hajj National Mission and the Director General of the National Office of Pilgrimage and Umrah. Oman's Ahmed bin Bella International Airport is also ready to welcome future pilgrims. The first group will take off on the 4th of June. They will be 8,000 to perform the Hajj rite. At this infrastructure, everyone is mobilized, including border police and customs officers, to accompany them and offer them the best possible conditions. Algeria, and in coordination with Saudi authorities, has succeeded in increasing its Hajj quota for this year to 41,300, a number never reached before. This departure flight will be followed by others from 8 other airports: Oran, Constantine, Annaba, Wurgila, Bishar, Lawat, Adrar, and Tamanrasset. The national airline Algérie has scheduled 78 flights for pilgrims until June 20. Algérie has made all the necessary arrangements to ensure the best travel conditions.
An application of the recommendations of the Council of Ministers on 28th of May 2023 on the preparation of the framework bill concerning forgery and the use of forgery in order to fight this phenomenon, which became a dangerous behavior at the expense of the majority of honest Algerians. A multi-sectoral working group was installed on Thursday at the headquarters of the Ministry of Justice for the preparation of this project. The mission of this working group will focus on fighting all aspects of this phenomenon, which leads to access to rights and privileges as well as pensions, public and social assistance, exemptions, housing, or other land without any rights. Abroad, the Sahrawi People's Liberation Army executed new attacks against positions of the occupation forces at the level of the High Command of the 19th Moroccan Battalion, the region of Jbilat al-Bid in the sector of El Gilta, as well as positions of the Moroccan Army in the region of Tadourt in the sector of Awsat. The strength of the Sahrawi people lies in unity and resistance to the plans of the Moroccan occupier. This was affirmed by the President and the Secretary General of the Polisario Front, Brahim Ghali, who also underlined the need to strengthen the institutions of the state as well as the structure of the political organization. More details with Daniel Bahri.
In a speech delivered on the occasion of the commemoration of the 7th anniversary of the death of President Mohammed Abdelaziz, the Sahrawi President Brahim Ghali reaffirmed the need to strengthen the institutions of the state and the structures of the political organization from cell to the branch, calling to regroup around the Sahrawi People's Liberation Army. Mohammed Abdelaziz was one of the founders of the Polisario Front. He remained its military leader, Secretary General, and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council after being elected at the 3rd Congress of the Liberation Movement in August 1976. In October of the same year, he became President of the Sahrawi Republic. During his mandate, the late Sahrawi president, called the Son of the Deserts, succeeded in making the Sahrawi cause known in international forums, where the Polisario Front succeeded in obtaining several important recognitions of its legitimacy as the sole representative of the Sahrawi people in their struggle against Moroccan occupation. Mohammed Abdelaziz died on May 31, 2016, after a long battle with illness, leaving behind him a rich journey that all people won't be able to forget. The late president had previously won the sympathy of the people all over the world, civil society and human rights defenders, to support the legitimate cause of his people.
the end of the bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the technicians and journalists behind the bulletin.